I'm going to show you a couple different water techniques today. So you're going to need your watercolors. You'll see I've got a mixing tray and I'm going to make a flat. So I want a paint that's real juicy. I'm using the Koi watercolor tubes, so that means that there's more pigment in these tube colors. So I'm adding water to the Persian blue, and again, I want a lot of water because I want it to be juicy. When you are painting watercolor, your colors are always going to look darker when it is wet than when it's light. So again, you need to test your color on the side or on another piece of paper to be sure. I'm rinsing out the brush and I'm going to add the complement. So the complement of blue is orange. When you add the orange to it, it's going to decrease or desaturate the color. It's going to brown it. So my color is going to become grayer, and that means that it's going to become more natural to what we actually see in nature. I'm going to use a flat brush so that it holds more paint. Again, you want plenty of paint when you're doing your flats. So I'm pulling in the same direction so that it flows together. With this flat, I did not wet the paper first. I'm just applying it directly, but notice I'm going back and getting more each time because I want plenty of the pigment to be on there. I dried my brush off a little bit and I am going back and I'm just evening it out a little bit. Again, you don't want to overwork watercolor. Now we're going to put the saran wrap on top. I have kind of crumpled up the saran wrap, and what this is going to do is it's going to create a resist, and you're going to get this really nice kind of crackled texture. It does need to dry, so it's going to take 2 or 3 hours to dry. The next color I'm mixing, I'm taking a lime green, and again, you want to dull your colors. So I'm taking an orange to the lime green. It's going to give it kind of a rusty, again, it's browning it down. So more of an olive color with a little bit of rust to it. I'm going to add a little bit more orange because I want to dull it down even more. Again, most watercolors are not painted straight out of the tube. Your mixed colors are the colors that are going to be more natural and more lifelike. All right, I'm going to do a flat again, so you want to make sure that your paint is good and juicy. And you'll see that this color is stronger. Again, I'm going to pull across. You want to go in the same direction. I mean, I could pull vertical instead of horizontal as long as I'm doing them in the same direction. This is going to be a salt technique. So once I've evened out this paint, I'm going to add some salt to it. And again, the salt, what it's going to do is it's going to absorb the paint and it's going to leave like a crystallized texture. This will not work if your paint is dry. So again, the flat has to be very juicy so that the paint can be absorbed through the salt. Here's the example of the saran wrap, and here's the example with the salt. If you haven't done so, go ahead and take your salt off.